Chapter 1 1.1 Backup Myths. This is another theoretical part that I'm getting deeper in backup theory. The first backup myth is how you measure the return of investment ROI of backup service. This may explain why some IT managers have some resistance in making backup investments, because the return of investment of backup, it's impossible to be quantified. So you really can measure it. You may do my training, you may implement the best backup system, and you may not have to restore a single file over a period of time. So you can measure it, even if you could measure the value of the lost files that you restore. So it's impossible. And there is a book author, an American book author, that says that this kind of investment in backup should be treated as an insurance policy investment. Okay, so it's the first thing we need to settle here. Backup versus high availability systems. It's a confusion that lots of managers make. Backup, it's not the same of HA system. It have different purposes. HA solution doesn't provide historical data information that backup provides, and there is a thing that's the most important: nothing gets corrupted faster than a mirror. So most of people already have problems with hide, for example, with database synchronous replication. This kind of solutions, they don't provide 100% protection against data loss. Okay, so this is another very important thing to consider. I've already told about that backup is a cost-risks relation. The first thing that you have to keep in mind, there is no sorry about that. There is no 100% fail-safe backup system. There is high costs that you need to think about what is better, having a remote backup or a end flame safe in the same building of backup. So what risks is your physical building, the building that the original data can be affected. It can be affected by flood, it can be affected by flame, by fire, it can be affected about war, maybe if you are in a war zone. So you have all these things to consider about the backup. Backup redundancy, does it work, does it not? For example, I'm making backups to disks. So should I use hide for those disks? I don't think so. Hourly backup, make backups with high frequency. Most of time, the cost doesn't compensate you making, for example, hourly backups of some application, unless it's a very critical application, like bank transactions, maybe something like that. Native operational system backup tools are better or more reliable than specific purpose backup tools. This is not true. When you use the native operational systems backup tools, you have no interoperability. You are unable to do centralized backup of all your servers. You have low storage compatibility most of the time, and you have poor performance. The native operational system backup, in general, they don't have the same performance of the most used backup tools of the market. This is another myth. It's better to use scripts instead of backup tools. Again, you have no interoperability, you are unable to do centralized backups, because if you use SNB, FTP, or mounts with those protocols, you have serious performance issues. Okay, it's not suitable for large data amounts. You will have a high complexity and very poor performance also in comparison with the modern backup tools. And this is it.